window, and that made her feel more secure. Tankful, she turned down the slip road and eased in between two juggernauts. It was hot in the car, so she opened both windows and enjoyed the play of breeze they created. It helped keep her awake, along with the hot black coffee. The clock on the dashboard read 12:35 a.m. Only about 2 or 3 hours to go, then she would be safe. Penny Cartwright was singing Richard Thompson's Strange Affair when Banks walked into the Dog and Gun, her low, husky voice milking the song's stark melancholy for all it was worth. Banks stood by the door, transfixed. Penny Cartwright. He hadn't seen her in over 10 years, though he had thought of her often, even seen her name in Mojo and Uncut from time to time. The years had been kind. Her figure still looked good in blue jeans and a tight white T-shirt tucked in at the waist. The long raven's wing hair, he remembered, looked just as glossy as ever in the stage lights, and the few threads of grey here and there made her look even more attractive. She seemed a little more gaunt than before, a little more sad around the eyes, perhaps, but it suited her, and Banks liked the contrast between her pale skin and dark hair. When the song ended, Banks took advantage of the applause to walk over to the bar, order a pint, and light a cigarette. He wasn't happy with himself for having started smoking again after 6 months or more on the wagon, but there it was. He tried to avoid smoking in the flat, and he would stop again as soon as he'd got himself back together. For the moment, it was a crutch, an old friend come back to visit during a time of need. There wasn't a seat left in the entire lounge. Banks could feel the sweat prickling on his temples and at the back of his neck. He leaned against the bar and let Penny's voice transport him as she launched into Blackwater Side. She had 2 accompanists, one on guitar and the other on stand-up bass, and they wove a dense tapestry of sound against which her lyric lines soared. The next round of applause marked the end of the set, and Penny walked through the crowd, which parted like the Red Sea for her, smiling and nodding hello as she went, and stood next to Banks at the bar. She lit a cigarette, inhaled, made a circle of her mouth, and blew out a smoke ring toward the optics. "That was an excellent set," Banks said. "Thanks." She didn't turn to face him. "Gin and tonic, please, Kath," she said to the barmaid. "Make it a large one." Banks could tell by her clipped tone that she thought he was just another fan, maybe even a weirdo or a stalker, and she'd move away as soon as she got her drink. "You don't remember me, do you?" he asked. She sighed and turned to look at him, ready to deliver the final put-down. Then he saw recognition slowly dawn on her. She seemed flustered, embarrassed, and unsure what to say. "Oh, yes, it's Detective Chief Inspector Burke, isn't it?" she managed finally. "Or have you been promoted?" "Afraid not," he said. "And it's Banks. But Alan will do. It's been a long time." "Yes." Penny got her gin and tonic and raised it to Banks, who clinked it gently with his pint glass. "Slancher?" "Slancher," said Banks. "I didn't know you were back in Helmthorpe." "Well, nobody put on a major advertising campaign." Banks looked around the dim lounge. "I don't know. You seem to have a devoted following." "Word of mouth, mostly. Anyway, yes, I'm back in the old cottage. What brought you here?"
"I heard the music as I was passing," Banks said. "Recognise your voice. What have you been up to lately?"
A hint of mischief came into her eyes. "Now, that would be a very long story indeed, and I'm not sure it would be any of your business."
"Maybe you could tell me over dinner some evening."
Penny faced him and frowned, her brows knit together, searching him with those sharp blue eyes, and before she spoke, she gave a little shake of her head. "I can't possibly do that," she whispered.
"Why not?"